Hey, what's going on, guys? So I've been working with Miriam for about 3 months now, helping her with her squat form. When we first started, she had never done free squats before, only Smith machine. So even with the bar, it was a huge adjustment with balance and everything else. So this is probably like a month and a half ago, 2 months ago, and I noticed that her foot on her left foot kept, her heel kept raising up, and her hip kept working out. So she had told me that she had a hip injury in the past, and I could tell that she had limited ankle flexibility, mobility. So we went a little bit heavier, and I was just noticing her setup and everything else. And her stance is very narrow, shoulder width, but usually narrow for squats. And we're just noticing the way she was moving. Still noticed the heel coming off. I still noticed the left hip, and just you can see it jutting out and then jutting back in. So I knew there were some issues there, and eventually all those things are going to catch up. So we had to correct that. So we basically dropped the weight back down and just really work on her setup. So I wanted her to get a wider stance, a wider base, and also flare her feet out. That way you activate more glutes, has more stability, and it helps that hip to stay out. And as you can see here, it did help a little bit. Her hip still had issues with her hip jutting out a little bit, and that's always going to be a problem once she gets max weights. But as far as the heels go, they were staying on the ground, and that's a lot better than what it was. So about a month after this, we tested her 1 rep max, and she went for 135. And right before this, she did 125 for a single. So her setup, you can notice it's definitely wider, feet are flared out, the setup is great, just that the bottom of the squat, that's where the weakest part was. As you can see, she failed there, her hip kind of torqued in, and that's going to happen because that's her weak point. So after that day, we really worked on her firing her hips through with a hip thrust, because she was basically trying to squat everything up with her quads and not using her posterior chain. So this is from yesterday. You can tell huge difference, real smooth reps, hips are coming through, and there's very limited twerking with that hip. And then this is her doing 135 again. Actually, she did 3 sets of 135, so that's a huge improvement in only a few months, like 3 months. So right here, she struggled, but she pushed her hip through, and this is probably the hardest set she had. This is her first set. Other 2 were easy. So I'm really proud of her, of the work she's put in and just grinding hard and actually trusting me and listening to what I say. Take care, guys. Peace.